Welcome to the VEO Stencil Designer training video. Using this tutorial, you can practice Stencil Designer software and accomplish Stencil Designer intelligently. Stencil Designer is an intelligent software developed by VEO. It automates solder paste stencil design, which guarantees stable quality stencil for soldering quality. Moreover, it allows you to transfer the knowledge and make continued improvement. Let's start the training for Stencil Designer. I shall guide you step by step. Stencil Designer supports two kinds of PCB data source. The first is PCB CAD, such as Cadence, Mentor, Altium, IPC 2581, ODB++, and so on. The other is a Gerber file. It could be RS274X or RS274D format. We will use PCB CAD data source for the training. As for Gerber data source, you could refer to the separate video or operational manual in the installation directory. The workflow of stencil design contains three parts: load data source, aperture design, and stencil output. I shall explain the detailed operation of Stencil Designer software and guide you to accomplish the design for a stencil. Pane generation, rapid aperture library buildups, and Gerber data source import shall be explained in a separate training video. Before we get started, let's create a job. Firstly, we will load PCB data source. We use CAD source as an example. Stencil Designer could intelligently identify CAD data type when you load CAD data source. In this step, we will confirm parts package to be applied for a reflow process. Then we will copy footprint of those parts package to solder paste layer base on a 1x1 size. Set stencil and PCB thickness. This is the most important step of the stencil design. We shall assign and create aperture. Firstly, we will select a group of predefined aperture from the library. Second, you decide how to assign aperture automatically, by package graphic, part number, package name, or combine them. For those part numbers without aperture assigned, you could select one from the library, or create a totally new aperture. For new aperture design is very flexible. You just need to select one shape and fine-tune the parameter. Here we could confirm plug hole process for preparation of hole check and stencil check steps. Please verify and set plug hole based on drilled drawing. Here we could design aperture for a special package like thermal pads, common or share pads, test points, and exposed via holes. For thermal pads, you could design aperture automatically. If you're not happy with the result of automatic design, you could also design them manually. Sorry, there is no common pad or share pad on the sample board. We ignore this operation. For OSP process, Stencil Designer could allow you to apply solder paste process for every test point and expose via hole automatically. Stencil Designer could automatically modify each aperture so as to keep a safe distance to every via or hole. Stencil Designer could identify part package for step process and generate step area automatically. If Stencil Designer detects violations based on keep out rules, you could confirm and modify it manually. You can change profile, shape, position, or size of step. At the end, we need to set body mark. If there is a fiducial mark defined in PCB CAD, Stencil Designer could identify automatically. We just need to select them. Unfortunately, there is no fiducial mark defined in the sample PCB CAD. We could add them manually. Stencil Designer comes with automatic validation function with dozens of checking rules. Prior to Stencil Design export, we could validate each aperture with built-in checking rules. If you confirm any aperture is not acceptable, you could redesign it. If there is no panel for the training job, we could jump to the final step of Stencil export. If you need to generate panel for Stencil, please refer to a separate training video. That's great, we've accomplished the stencil design for this PCBA. We can export the design to the Gerber files. Thanks for watching the training video. If you have any questions to the usage of this software, please refer to the operational manual and installation directory, or contact our technical expert for support.